Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Got a new AC system last year, installed it, waited a long time to actually hook the belt up because I wasn't ready to test it out yet. Got the belt hooked up and I broke. Oh my God. Welcome back to the chaos. So I hooked the AC belt up, trying to get that system going. I had everything in there charged. Just needed the belt to spin so the compressor could work and check my pressures and, check the system. Well, that's when chaos happened. Put the belt on, started the engine, turned the AC on, and stuff started breaking. Well, the magnet just started, letting the smoke out. So I removed all that and just going to verify for my own sanity that, this magnet's bad. I already got a new one, GM one on the way. Don't do this at your house. I'm an idiot. Oh, that's working. That's a magnet. Yay. Okay. Well, I applied some shop air into my manifold. That was about whatever that is, 56, 57. The side over here on the high side was up to about 120. And you can kind of hear it leaking out down here. I think it's around the fitting where it goes in the compressor. I'm going to go troubleshoot that a little bit more, but that tells me which side of the system it's on that is not holding pressure. You can see that one's just coming down just ever so slightly, but cold side's holding, or low side's holding, so that's good. Let's get in here and figure out where this leak's at. We got the new compressor in there. Hook the hoses up. Got that hooked up to a little vacuum doodad. We're holding vacuum. Well, obviously, because the vacuum's on. I was holding vacuum before. I guess I can show you that. Vacuum staying there. So I know I got no leaks now. So we'll go ahead and boil off whatever had a leak. Fix the leak. Replace the compressor. I no longer have a leak. I put vacuum on my system and it holds vacuum. In my case, on the low side, when the compressor kicked on, it had over 20 psi or whatever it was. The compressor would kick on and it would try to suck refrigerant into the compressor, but there's a blockage. So it wasn't sucking anything in, giving me pressure. It was trying to suck, motorcycle, it was trying to suck and nothing was coming in. Like when you got a straw with your finger over the end of it and it was just showing vacuum. So that tells me on my low side, I have a block. So we're going to figure out where this block is. If you replace the compressor, you probably have junk in your system. So we're going to do our best to flush most of that out. The things that I cannot replace and will be flushed will be lines and the evap core, which is the big old box that you get from the aftermarket AC companies. But we are going to replace the condenser and the dryer, because you can flush that, but I mean, it's these little thin plate style deals. So the chance of you getting anything out of that by the time you spend $300 in flush stuff and your time, you just get a new one for 150 bucks and replace it. Also the dryer, you can imagine those little, desiccant packs that come in your beef jerky or whatever you buy. Imagine a bunch of those stacked in here. You put pressure on that, it's going to be like a little boba tea thing happening in there. So I'm not in California. Don't do the boba tea. Don't want that. So we're going to replace on those things. And once we get those swapped out, we'll flush the evap, flush the lines, hook everything back up, put it on vacuum, and see if it works. All right. Well, bring you in here, show you what I got going on. I got the new condenser installed. That was pretty straightforward. Took the old one out, took the old dryer out. I'm not uncapping that or installing that until I get everything wrapped up. Started blowing through my lines. I've got the little flush tool and some flush. I'm gonna flush through that. New dryer they gave me is a little bit bigger, so that bracket may need some work. But got my lines out and I've got them off the compressor, and I was blowing through my lines And if you blow through the line, it should, I'm just checking to make sure I don't have any blockages, because that's what I'm trying to find is a blockage, right? Well, I got one. And I'm bringing in here, this is my diagram. So coming out of the evap core into the compressor. So when this kicks on, it's going to start starting to suck fluid through, the system. And this was the side that was drawing a vacuum. So figured if I disconnect this hose and put, instead of vacuum, put air pressure through this, it should do air pressure things, right? It should blow this out. And if it was clear and it blew air through, then I can flush it and make sure there's nothing in there. Well, I put air pressure on this little guy here, blowing through, and it just wouldn't go anywhere. Well, if you follow that up, it goes right here to the expansion valve. So expansion valve is not expanding to open up. Well, called restomod to see is there any other check valves or anything in there, so I can remove that expansion valve and then blow it through and clear out that evap core. And they're saying that that's probably my problem. When the expansion valve does not open, it will be like a blockage and give me the same symptoms I had of pulling a vacuum on the low side when it's trying to do things. So I'm going to try and remove this expansion valve, and I'm also going to, with these lines off, I'm going to, blow everything out and, verify that everything's good to go there. And then we'll check and see what happens. I mean, the expansion valve is truly not opening. That could be my low side blockage because it's just not functioning and it'll act like a block. Well, here we are, moment of truth. Got the engine running, manifold hooked up, charging right about 20 something psi, and my can set up there, and it's just drinking down the fluid. Pressure's fine. And alright, so this is going to cycle up as the compressor kicks on and off. It'll get up to 250 and then it'll dump the purge, whatever it does down there, it cycles, and then it kicks on the fan. That's the cooling fan that just came on. That fan's been cycling on and off, but it's sucking. This thing's only supposed to be like 10 to 25 or 10 to 20. It's a lot lower than most because it's got a smaller core in there. It's right about 5 and it's still sucking away. I was fan a minute ago. Got the fan hooked up. Hopefully keep it a little bit cooler so the head pressure can come down and start sucking some things in. And that seems to be helping. So now we're inside the car. This is a horrible test because I'm just testing how cold that plastic is instead of the air that's coming out. But we're getting there. 57. That's the only ones that are on. Oh, these aren't. 55. I mean, it's cooling. It still needs to go a little cooler. 53. So as it's sucking in, it's dropping the temp down. The shop manager is approving of the air conditioning in here, so I guess that's always good. Can't get good help these days. Well, there we have it. AC system is charged and putting out some cold air. That's great. That's that was a lot of troubleshooting. I did something. I don't know what I did. I don't know if I had the hot side valve open and I charged too much on the hot side and that caused too much pressure, or if I had my can, wonky and it was getting actual fluid in there instead of vapor to charge it. So whatever I did, I popped the high side and made a blockage on the low side and changed out all the pieces. And also I added, I don't know if I covered this before. Also I added this, that's nice and cold, filter in my low side line. So just in case I didn't get all the junk out of there, that would catch it. So, just an added peace of mind. It was an extra $20 or so. So anyways, hopefully you learned something out of this. I know I learned a hell of a lot in charging your own and building your own air conditioning systems. Granted, this is a kit, but I messed it up. Anyways, thanks for hanging in there. This was about a month long of troubleshooting and waiting on parts and all that stuff to finally get some cold air blowing. So thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.